Triple threat prayers. Triple threat prayers. I know we all pray. At least I hope we all pray. But have you ever prayed a triple threat prayer? Now, that's a powerful prayer. And that's what we're going to talk about on this morning. And certainly, I know you want to know what that means. So just hold on. Let me greet some folk and then we can move into our text, our talk, and our takeaway. But until then, just be thinking about and turn into 1 Samuel 12:23, triple threat prayers. Triple threat prayers. How about that? Good morning, Lenora. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Ramona. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Arlene, my military buddy. How are you? Good morning, Ella. How are you? Gerald, how are you? Annette, how are you? Yvonne, how are you? Liz, how are you? Joya, how are you? And how long is, I think I just saw somewhere on LinkedIn you've been at the school, how many years? 20, 30 years, something like that. But anyhow, congratulations. Good morning, Verena. How are you? Good morning, Coach Dagny. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Dawn. How are you on this morning? Denise, how are you on this morning? Pamela, how are you? Cynthia, how are you? Good morning, Laura. How are you on this morning? And Laura, how about that? Did you guys enjoy your dinner? I hope so. 50 years, 50 years, 50 years. Don't look like it. We got to catch up with you all. We're just 43. We're young bloods here. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you on this morning? Here we go. Elder Mobley, how are you? Samara, how are you on this morning? Elder Mobley, how are you? Good morning. Co-Pastor Val, how are y'all? Shout out Co-Pastor Val. Co-Pastor Val is one of our pastors at New Life Columbus. Her and her husband doing a fantastic job. And so can we just shout her out? Let's be some encouragement. And it's talking about triple threat prayers. You're going to be blessed by this, Pastor Val. You really are. Good morning, Elder Val. Jan, how are you on this morning? Lydia, how are you on this morning? Yeah, 20 years. 20 years. That's what it is. 20 years. How about that? That's some military time there. Yeah, 20 years. Good morning, Francine. How are you on this morning? Deborah, how are you? Are you back or are you in the area? Are are you on the other side of the world? Never know. Never know. Never know. But keep on traveling. Enjoy yourself. Good morning, Patrice. How are you on this morning? Patrice, you're missing. Somebody's missing. Somebody else is sitting in your seat in church. We got to cut that out. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you on this morning? Pamela, how are you on this morning? Thelma, how are you? On this morning. Angela, how are you doing on this morning? Good to see you. Elder Ashton, what are you doing? You chilling there at the camp? Kids across America, take care of our kids, of course. Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? What a great morning it is. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you? Says, yes, you all are back. Okay, good, 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 good. Good morning, Ricky. How are you in this morning? Bernice, how are you on this morning? Look, if it's your first, second, or third time joining us on this morning, this is where we do gather at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time every weekday morning, and we give the text, the talk, the takeaway. It is called Morning Manna. Now, what you do, you put the revelation that you get in the chat area, so the cumulative effect will do what? It creates community, and it also helps the other person that watches now or later to get that same revelation that you got, and it just adds to it. Isn't that right, Bernice? Good morning to you. Good morning, Michael. How are you on this morning? So, you ready for the word on this morning? This morning is triple threat. How many of you need a triple? Got to learn how to have a triple threat prayer life. That's what we're going to deal with on this morning. So let's go for it.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day.
Here we go. 1 Samuel 12:23, the NIV translation. Hear it again for the very first time in the translation of your choice. As for me, Far be it from me that I should sin against the Lord by failing to pray for you. And I will teach you the way that is good and right. Samuel talking. Let's get the context of the text before we give you the talk of the text. Samuel stands in this transitional moment, this seminal moment, this liminal moment, as Israel shifts from prophetic leadership to monarchy. Though the people rejected him for being a judge, Samuel doesn't retaliate, he doesn't retreat, he doesn't reduce his responsibilities. Instead, he embraces a calling, a higher calling, a calling of prayer, a posture of prayer. And there's three ways that he goes at it. It's transactional, intercessional, and ultimately transformational. Let's break them down before I give you the three talks for the text. Transactional. Transactional is prayer, is about spiritual accountability. Samuel says, "Far be it from me that I should sin against the Lord by ceasing to pray for you." I could feel rejected. I could feel left out in this transitional moment of leadership from the prophetic to the monarchy. He views prayer not just as an optional communication, but as a divine obligation, something that is owed both to God and to the people. Prayer, listen, is the sacred currency of spiritual leadership. And all of us, in some form or another, are leaders. When we stop praying, we stop paying the dues. And you got to pay dues to live on God's green earth. Intercessional. What is that about prayer? Prayer is standing in the gap. Even though Israel messed up by demanding the king, Samuel doesn't cancel them. Could have, but he covers them instead. Because real intercession, you may have failed, but I still am going to pray for your future. Transformational. Transformational prayer goes beyond words to works. Samuel ties his prayer life to action. He said, "And I will teach you in the way that is good and right." I'm not going to just sit back and pout. You know how we do sometimes when we feel rejected. He knows that prayer with no discipleship is just spiritual noise. Transformational, intercessional, transactional. Here's the three things I want you to get. That's the context. Here's to talk about the text. When we talk about transactional prayer, God, I owe you obedience through power. 2, intercessional prayer says, even when others fail, I will stand for them in prayer. When people reject you, step aside, leave you, forget what you've done for them, intercessional says, I'm still standing in the gap for you. Though you have forgotten me, I'm going to be transactional in my prayers because I owe God, not you. I'm going to be intercessional in my prayers. You rejected me, but I'm still going to pray for you. Here's the third thing, transformational prayer. Prayer is not enough if I'm not also leading people and teaching people through a discipleship model. That's right. That's right. And that's what happens here with Samuel. And that's what happens with us so many times in our relationships. So you still got to have a triple threat prayer. So don't just pray about it, be about it. That's your takeaway. Don't just pray about it, be about it. Because you are a triple threat. Though they may look the other way, step around, step over you, reject you, you still got the obligation of still praying. How about that? The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Share the manna. If it bless you, bless somebody else. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna, 7:15, prayer call with First Lady and I. God bless you. Bye now.